Welcome back to ShopDog-Garage. It is snowing. It's the snowpocalypse out. We're supposed to get almost a foot of snow today. So we're going to work on air conditioning. Doesn't that sound like fun? So it started snowing about 40 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago. You see it's coming down pretty good. Is what it is. So anyway, Diesel and picks here up so that we can do some air conditioning work. And before we tap new cans, he's going over, because, you know, the modern cans have the plunger in them, and just measuring how many ounces we have in everything. He actually, according to the manual, only needs 24 ounces. So we're going to go with that and make sure we're happy. One thing to note, haven't touched any of this in a week. And our decay was pretty stinking minimal. So we're going to try it. Oh, and we left the glove box door open. So the battery is flat. So we're just throwing a charge on that for now until we get there. But I just got the little puppy back out. I'm going to hook it up. We're going to vacuum it down for a good another 15-20 minutes just to make sure there's no moisture left. It's pretty dry in here, but you know, we got to wait on that anyway. So might as well do it. Okay, she's running. You know, just don't have to do it, but you might as well while we're here. And then once that's vacuumed down, like I said, he's going through figuring out the actual start weight, and then we will tear them all down. You know, T-A-R-E, tear, not break them. And figure out exactly how much we're adding, and we will add exactly 24 ounces. Poor Shop Dog needs a treat. It's snowing a lot. So here's a funny thing. Remember last time we did all this and we're like, oh, we got the, you know, with the new cans and the way they are and they don't pierce. So I bought the fitting. Here's the problem. It doesn't fit the hose. But I have gauges for my 410 system and it does fit those, or that hose, which is probably, you know, metric or whatever. Every adapter I got, there's just no way I can get there from here. So just like last time, we'll measure out some cans. And we'll just use one of these ones you buy at the store. Honestly, it'll work, but just disappointing. Very disappointing.
Use a battery? Just for the gauge? Oh, okay.
Oh, look at that. It even still has a good battery. So, it'll do the job. Of course, this thing leaks. So, ordered new manifold gauges that work with both the piercing and the resealable cans. So we'll pick this back up again in a couple days. Welcome back to ShopDog-Garage. We're continuing on Kevin's saga. He now has a charged battery, and he's been holding vacuum, but more importantly, we now have the bright fittings. So I'm going to get set up real quick, and then let's see if we can actually charge this. Maybe. Okay, the newest set of gauges are hooked up. I just turned the pump on. Remember, it was already vacuumed down, but now we're actually vacuuming out the new gauges. You can see I'm hanging at 29.5, which suddenly seems like an actual real number. Something I do know is never turn these all the way down. You know, don't damage the Schrader. So I've got them mostly turned down, but not all the way. So, yeah, I think my old gauges probably never going to get much use after this. Had these for, well over 20 years. You know, you can see they're getting kind of old anyway. Look at the hoses. They're checked. They're old. And they're meant for R12. So, and then I've got another set here that I got when I did the mini split. And I don't remember if it came with the mini split or how that worked. And honestly, they're quite similar. However, they didn't have the ends I needed. So it was, for whatever ridiculous reason, so inexpensive to buy this kit to get all the ends I needed. So to get the can tap and the two ends and some free hoses and some gauges, you know, it was still cheaper than just buying the parts I needed. It's It's ridiculous sometimes how that goes. So now I'm going to find out if I can get this thing filled up. Alright, I'm going to let that vacuum down for a little bit and go get the kitchen scale. ShopDog will help. Okay, and now we find out. Hopefully, now for better for worse, we're definitely building up a little frost. So, yeah, she's taking something. Gonna have to check and see how full that can is in a second. Well, getting there. I put 12.5 ounces out of one can, 5 1/4 out of another, 2 out of another. So just working on one more, and then hopefully we're there. And now we wait. Filled her up, and the sharp-minded will notice that's not the same gauges. Got those over here. They have pressure in them, but once everything was done, I moved the hose, and this uncoupled a little bit, so I just tore that thing completely off, and we'll deal with that in a minute. Apparently, it's not that hard to undo these seals, so I'm going to put that on with a wrench, because there's no reason for me to ever take that off. So, this set has these little plastic knobbies to pop them on, so maybe I got to spend a minute and do that. Finger tight wasn't quite enough, but you can see even now with her off, got 30 and she's bled down to about 80. If you wait overnight, they'll be the same pressure after a while, but I'm going to give it a few minutes and then start the car back up, make sure the AC works. Okay, just started the car. You'll notice the compressor's not running. It's slowly decaying. And it's not blowing any air. So I'm going to turn the air warm, go to dash, let's give her a second. Okay, now that should kick the compressor on, and it did. And I'm seeing 18 pounds, 100, I call that 45. It's 65 degrees or so in here. In fact, I can tell you exactly. I gotta turn the fans back on. It is 68 degrees in here. So, I honestly don't think that's a terrible differential. So, let me get this fan back on. You know, love what I do, not willing to die for it. Hey, and look at that, cold air coming out. Who knew? Alright. So, I don't have any air blowing over the condenser for right now. But quite honestly, it's not even that hot. Alright, well, we'll give a report back in a few days, and obviously he's going to drive it a little bit this spring, you know, should spring ever come. I'm sure you notice it's kind of shiny out there, and the door's mostly down. It's because it's still winter here. But yeah, it's nice and cold, nice and cold. In fact, ice cold. So one of the things that happened the last time it blew something, and then you can see I've got a hose undone. We can deal with that later. Okay, I'm gonna move where we're going. So right now we're on the dash. We're gonna go blend, which is gonna be a little up here and a little down here. Then we're gonna go de-ice, which is all up there, and it is, and very little down here. Okay. Blend again, which will be de-ice, and then the heater ones, which are, you know, down there, and now just the heat, which you can see is that tube. You can see it moving. All right, let's go back to probably the most common position, which is the dash and de-ice blend. So, and then if I warm it up in here a little, I'm sure you just heard the air compressor kick off. Now the fans won't kick off because the engine's good and warm yet. You see, the air compressor kicked off. And you can see it's already starting its decay over. So, let's let that run for a couple of minutes. I'll shut the car down and I'll, check for leaks. What else can we do? Well, I just took the gauges off. The fan's actually kicked off. The car's cooled down enough. So, nice and warm, blowing in here. We're gonna turn her back down, turn the air conditioning on. See, that's warm air right now, but it's gonna start turning cool. Yep, I can already feel it starting to change over. All right. I don't know what else you can do. So I'm gonna leave it under this worst case condition. I'm gonna just turn it off. And then I'm gonna turn the car off. And that should spike the pressure in the lines to the highest it's gonna be in the test conditions I have, because it's just not that hot in here. So, we got the battery charger on. I'll come back in a few days. We'll see how this went. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.